It is January 2024. Next year is 2025. We are on the eve of the time frame of our agenda. But today, January 2024, we have seen the presentations where the alignment of minds have come together to present a plan for agriculture that will see the 25 by 25 agenda realized by next year. We recognize that with the advancement of livestock, we can see a significant increase in local production and also local earnings by our farmers. It is all calculated math. We have seen by the development of the fishery sector, our fisher folk will be able to go out and catch more and also be able to sell more, substantially improving their earnings and their livelihoods and putting them at a better position to survive and thrive in this federation. The plans are on the way, well detailed, well constructed, well positioned. We have seen by the development of our greenhouse villages how if we repair the 30 plus greenhouses on St. Kitts and we add the 30 plus greenhouses in Nevis, and the 45 greenhouses that we already have permission to purchase and install by the end of this year, we have seen that if we continue our development in orchard production and we establish the 100 acres of banana production as we intend to, that if we follow conventional practice and have 2 suckers for every plant that you put in, that's 300,000 banana trees. If each of them give you at least 40 pounds, that's 12 million pounds of banana. And if you sell banana at even $3 a pound, that is $36 million. We're talking about aligning visions to achieve something that could never be a bad thing for the country in any way. And so, as we chart our way forward, as we ensure that our farmers can produce, as we ensure that our locals can eat food grown, developed, and processed in St. Kitts, as we ensure that our people know what is going into their food and what they're putting on their plates, as we ensure that our fishermen and fisherfolk can go and brave those waves and understand that they'll be safe because we're monitoring. Understand that when they come back, there'll be a market prepared and ready for them for their local catch. Understand that whatever excess they have can go into processing and become new products, and then our people can also benefit from that and preserve the shelf life. This is what we are here to do. And as the minister, I knew it was my duty to lead that charge. It was my duty to bring alignment to all the people within the ministry and within the country. And I knew it would not be an easy task. As I've said, you don't change culture overnight, nor do you change culture without resistance. And so as I heard all the resistance, I was never daunted. All I encourage the team is to stay focused and develop your plans. Use the data available to you and use your knowledge and put structured plans in place that you can, at some point, rely on what you're saying. And that with the support of our trusted friends and allies, such as the Republic of China, Taiwan, such as the Republic of Cuba, such as Japan, such as Venezuela, we have been able to see some of these realities come to life. When I went to Bareford's Livestock Center of Excellence a few weeks ago, and I saw where the hatchery project is at this point, I was pleasantly surprised. Because it was only at the end of November, they said, well, we're about to clear ground. At this point, we almost see the completion of at least 4 buildings between the end of November to now. That just doesn't represent expedited construction and it's glorious because you've constructed 4 buildings. Let us give a perspective on what it represents. Poultry represents $20 million annually of our import. 20 million. This hatchery project will help us to make a significant dent in that sector. And when you couple that with the fact that we have been given a project this year to create a slaughtering facility for poultry, and you put them together, then you see the vision. You produce more hatchlings. You supply our farmers with these hatchlings. Our farmers raise these hatchlings, some for eggs, some as broilers. And then for the broiler section, you have a slaughtering facility. It means then you are prepared to challenge the poultry industry and the market that you have existing. That is $20 million. What does that mean for our farmers? It means that if they were able to hit that target successfully somewhere in this country, $20 million would have been shared amongst our people. This is something that I believe is important because at the end of the day, when I look at the crisis that we are suffering, we are diabetes, high blood pressure, all type of chronic diseases are tackling us as a country. When you look at that and you relate it back to the cost factor, a lot of it has to do with what we eat. Agriculture is important. So when we talk about a sustainable island state and the transformation of St. Kitts and Nevis into a sustainable island state, you cannot have that conversation without having a true conversation on the development of agriculture. It can never happen. Why? Because without food, no work can be done. Without food, there's absolutely no survival. And so before you go out and try to play politics with agriculture, the objective is to make sure you do what has to be done to build it from the ground up. We're in a space where we could happily say we are on the right track. We are heading to a right place. And in many ways, I feel blessed to be the minister at a time like this, where our agriculture sector has never really had a true plan since maybe 1700s, where they introduced sugar. Because after the introduction and development of a crop for certain years, centuries in this case, you just run on the plan that you've already had. And to see a proper plan being injected into agriculture, and the buy-in of the ministry and the directors and the staff and the farmers and the community. You can't go anywhere right now and say 25 by 25 and nobody even has heard it before. So I'm happy. People understand what the plan is. The idea now is to show them how we will execute on that plan effectively. And our farmers are happy with it. We have over 150 farmers already signed on to what crops they want to grow to be a part of this agenda. Over 150 already signed, saying, I want to be a part of this. This is what I want to do. So this isn't just talk. It's a structured planning, a structured process. And I feel blessed to be the minister at this time. I want to thank the general public of St. Kitts and Nevis, because again, we cannot achieve this without the complete buy-in of everyone. The backyard farmers, small stakeholder farmers, large stakeholder farmers, livestock farmers, fisher folk, and the other areas of the agricultural sector. One of the areas we have not touched on much is the exotic animal area and exotic plants. That is a huge area waiting to be developed. Exotic fish, exotic birds, exotic flowers. All of these things we are talking about. So if we can rear them here, being just merely hours away, what do you think the possibility is? But these are the things that you learn by communicating and exposing yourself to what is happening in the global atmosphere. And in some ways, I wondered why agriculture took so long to develop. And in some cases, I connect that to the criticism about us traveling. Because their reluctance to travel may have been the reason why there was a retard in development. Because they don't understand what is happening in the global atmosphere. And so we will continue to build agriculture. All hands on deck. Mine, yours, the country, the region, the world. All hands on deck. And ensure that St. Kitts and Nevis becomes, as I've always said, the mecca of food production in this part of the region. Thank you all for being here. It's been a wonderful day, wonderful presentation.